friends, welcome back to Pastors' Wives Tell All, Season 7. We are here, we are ready, but first, we want to thank our sponsor, Tyndale Publishing. And right now, they have a new Bible study series that just came out by author Kat Armstrong. You have got to check this out. It is called The Storyline Bible Studies, Gardens and Deserts. So if you are the type of person who, which a lot of us are, when you read the Bible, you just think, this is so confusing and so much information. I don't know how it all goes together. Kat has come up with some great studies that piece all of it together to make the Bible look like one masterpiece. Because it really is. It is the story of it's God's story.
Mm-hmm.
It's the story of Jesus and the Savior and sin and how all of that connects. It's gorgeous and beautiful, but sometimes it's just hard to understand. So Kat has written this Bible study series. There are 8 Bible studies. They all correlate and go together. You can do one by one. You can pair them up because there are pairs. You've got one that's called mountains and you've got one called valleys. Do that together. You've got one called sticks and then stones. You can do that together. Sinners and saints, do that together. Gardens and deserts, do that together.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this will highlight what the Bible is as a whole. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. I'm actually really enjoying these studies, and I'm excited to bring these to our women's ministry.
These studies basically just guide you through the storyline of scripture. Each one will follow a person, place, or thing in the Bible. Each study is 5 weeks long and can be paired with their partner, the thematic partner, for a 10-week study.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be really cool for you to look at if you are interested, which I know right now you are. You're so
very
interested.
You should be.
Yes. Then you need to head over to thestorylineproject.com. I'll say that again, thestorylineproject.com. And that link will be in our show notes. Now let's get to our conversation.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Stephanie.
And you are listening to Pastors' Wives Tell All,
a podcast by pastors' wives for church leaders and anyone desiring to take a peek inside our glass house.
We are breaking down walls and crushing pastors' wives stereotypes within the church.
We want pastors' wives and other ministry leaders to know that they are not alone in this. Plus, this is basically therapy for the 3 of us with a whole lot of dance parties. Woo,
Guys, welcome back to season 7 of the podcast. This is nuts. We have been doing this for 5 years and we are so ready to dive back in, talk about good things, hard things, in between things, whatever, all the things.
I'm just shook that it
Yeah.
has been 5 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, that is wild. So much has happened in 5 years.
So much has happened. God has done so
Not
much,
wrong.
and we have learned so much.
100%.
That is for sure. And we're going to keep on sharing what God has been teaching us because over the summer, I think all 3 of us have dealt with a lot. God has grown us. We have dealt with hard things. And we want to be able to share that with you. We always try to be raw and honest with you as much as we can. But we also have some exciting, fun things to share what God is doing.
Also, can we just take a minute to thank anybody who donated towards our new podcast setup? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. It's totally new little vibe we got going on. And we're still in the same spot, but
We sure are.
But it's cuter
but it's
and
so much
comfier and
cuter.
cozier, but you will only see it if you get on YouTube, by the way.
that's right. So if you're not
Yes.
on YouTube, go find us.
Go
It'll
right
be
now.
fun.
Right now. And we're not in the closet anymore, guys.
No.
We've come a long way.
Yeah.
We definitely started recording this podcast on the floor of my closet, mine and my husband's closet. So that
I
was,
kind of missed those days. It was so cozy.
oh my goodness.
It was hot, though.
It was so hot.
It was. She's not wrong.
No.
It's fine. But hey,
Yes.
we are ready to dive into this season
Yeah.
with some updates on our life, some vulnerability again, all the things. So let's get started with that, guys.
Yeah. So, okay, let's just talk about the whole summer, kind of recap. What is something that maybe was just a way that God really blessed you, something you've been learning, maybe a ministry fail. I mean, whatever you want to talk about, let's talk about it.
Oh,
Who wants to go first?
I think you do.
Do I? Okay. Well, okay. So I would say going into the summer, I was struggling a little bit mentally and spiritually because our church, we had lost a few families, and not for bad reasons at all. And then I was traveling a lot throughout the summer, and my husband was too, and he is the lead pastor. And when you know that when you are traveling, you feel disconnected, especially if it's more than once. And then losing families, and then everyone was going on vacations. We are a vacationing church for how small we are. We vacation a lot. And I just got really down going like, God, like our church is not growing. People are not here. It just feels different. And I struggle with that. I always have. Like even when we were in youth ministry, when the seats were not full, I was like, what is going on? Why are people not wanting to be here? Even though like I knew like it's vacation, like it's time where people are traveling. Like I knew that, but it still felt different when I was in the sanctuary. Because I love to be able to, I love corporate worship. I love when there's a full church and you just are singing in unison, praising God, and then just being able to share life with everybody. So I felt a little disconnected. But a lot of that was me too, because I was traveling and I was even questioning like, God, are we doing something? Like, are we doing something wrong? Is there something that we need to change up? And I would say over the past 3 weeks, like we held on, we kept going. And I've just seen, even the past 3 weeks, God doing amazing works in people in our church. And I'm seeing growth happen and I'm seeing discipleship happen. And it just reminds me of the importance of not walking away. Even though I know like vacation was good for my soul and good for everyone's soul, when we're all together and we can hear the stories and the testimonies of what God is doing, it strengthens your faith. It makes you feel connected as a body. And so it's just been really beautiful over the past couple of weeks to be able to be together. Everyone is back from vacations and see what God is doing. And we've still had some hard moments, but I've seen the Lord move. And it's given me like a, what would be the word? Like not rejuvenation, but I don't know. I'm excited.
Like a boost.
Yes. It's given me a boost and I'm excited about the fall and the winter. And
It's awesome.
so yeah, it was stinky. Nothing that really I could have done about it. But I think that we have to get ourselves out of those mindsets sometimes. It's really easy to get there and the enemy can take you down a rabbit hole going like, y'all are doing something wrong, or maybe you should just leave and all of that. Or you know, maybe you just suck at what you do. But God really has just opened our eyes to some new ministry opportunities.
It's funny because I'm sitting here thinking about ministry, and we've been in this for a very long time. And for those who don't know, we have been in youth ministry the entire time since we got married. Like that is all we've done. We don't plan on going anywhere from that. But sometimes I think now at this age, even I'm like, are we still relevant? Are we? I know my husband has struggled with that sometimes, but then I'm like, I see the growth and I see these teenagers in the college. Cause like now, many of those teens who started out in seventh grade are in our college and career group now or getting married. Like it's just a whole thing. Like you're seeing the whole cycle. But I think what has been encouraging this summer is seeing that college and career group develop and wanting to be even more a part of the body of Christ and be even more involved in the church. And exciting. Right now we are in the midst of moving into our own space in the church. So we have not had a space for college and career, but we have grown enough for probably when everybody's home, probably run around 30 college and career, which is huge for a smallish church, you know? And so I don't know, it's just exciting to see them. And even when all of them are not here, it's still a very good sized group. And so we have this new room. We just got some furniture off Facebook Marketplace. The kids are like excited. If I say the kids, they're adults. I know.
There'll always be kids,
but they're
you.
kids to me. I know. And then we've got these different ones that are getting engaged or getting married this year.
You had a wedding this summer.
Yes, we had one couple get married this summer, and it was one of the most precious weddings I think I've ever been to, just because when you know their story and some of the background, and then you see the way that they look at each other and you know that this couple wants to serve the Lord with all their hearts. Like it's just, gosh, I could cry right now thinking about it. it just was like a full circle moment. And then we have another couple getting married in November, and then another one in the spring. And I may or may not know about some that are going to be getting engaged soon. So it's just a time of
be continued.
weddings.
Yeah.
It's like a different, because, you know, at first we're walking through with teenagers through their like little crushes and drama and school drama and all of that. And then now to be a part of like, oh, we're in a new season. They're getting married. They're starting a different part of their life. We get to disciple in a different way and have marriage counseling and different things like that, which is, it's just different. It's a different stage of life. And I'm really enjoying it.
It's so awesome.
What about you, Jenna?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. Honestly, this summer has been, first of all, whiplash. Let's just talk about that for a second. It has gone by way too fast. And usually I'm that mom who is like, I'm ready for school to start back. I need more consistency and, you know, schedule in my life, which is true still, but I'm not going to lie. I have really enjoyed the summer. I have made myself rest more. I have made myself sleep in a little extra.
Yeah, girl.
And be in pajamas curled up with a blanket. That sounds so just like whatever, but
Sounds
like
wonderful
for me, that's actually a really big deal because that's not my go-to, but I have craved that, which has been really sweet. And I talked about this a little bit on one of the last episodes of season 6, but we did step out in faith and we moved churches. My husband is the production director at a new church in our city. It's actually not technically in our city. It's 30 minutes from our city. And I have enjoyed that drive. At first I was like, wait a second, this is going to be
it's a beautiful
different,
drive.
you know, but it is a gorgeous drive and it's so peaceful. That 30 minutes with worship music on Sunday mornings, I cannot tell you what it does for my soul. But I kind of hinted, you know, at the beginning of the summer that we knew that this was a big step of faith, but we didn't know what God had in store for us because it didn't make sense. This move didn't make sense for us. We were happy at our previous church, and God has just like little thing by little thing by little thing has he done that have just confirmed that we are exactly where he wants us. And recently, and I can't wait to talk more about this, but I'm still honestly processing it, but God has blown our minds with just provision in ways that we never expected. I get chills all over my body when I think about it or talk about it. I actually just told the girls about it all this morning. So it's very fresh and new. God just did a miracle in our lives. And I'm so thankful. And he has shown us this past year above and beyond anything he's ever done for us and our family, like how he can provide and how his ways are not our ways. And he just wants us to be obedient when he asks us to do something. And even when it doesn't make sense, even when we feel like we're taking a step back. And he has moved, and I'm still just,
he's a God of
kind of
opposites. He's a
he
God of opposites.
truly is a God of opposites. And I think that if we could all grasp that, and I don't mean just like hear it, but like truly grasp that in so many different areas of our life, from, you know, making a decision when it feels like a wrong decision or when it doesn't make sense in our minds, to even like not opening our mouths and saying something in a moment to our children when that's what we want to do, but maybe saying something completely opposite of what you typically would say, then I think that our lives would be so much different.
Why do you think we struggle so much with obedience? You know, like it is our way. It's our nature, that flesh, to fight against it. But I mean, there are people out there listening right now, which each one of us has stepped out in obedience in different ways in our lives. But what stops us from every time stepping out in obedience? Because we've seen him move, but why do we still fight it so much?
Plain and simple for me, it's just because we're human and we want what we want, and we have that selfish. We are selfish by nature, so I think we want to be in control a lot of the time of what the outcome is. And I think faith is hard for a lot of people. I think faith, like true faith, is really hard.
But I think
I don't know.
The faith is hard because no one steps out in obedience.
100%.
Because if you don't ever step out in faith, in obedience, then your faith will never be stretched.
Can't grow. Right.
So I think that is one of the answers, is people are not stepping out. So they're not seeing how God will provide, how God will answer this prayer according to his riches and goodness and what you need, not what you want. What about
that's
you?
exactly the answer.
yeah.
Is they're not stepping out.
I'm just thinking it's kind of a paradox. Like, what came first, the chicken or the egg situation? Because it's like you need faith in order to step out in obedience, but your faith doesn't grow unless you step out in obedience. And so here we are, like, we're not being stretched because we're not stepping out. It's the flesh is weak.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, to go back to it, when you are saved, your spirit is saved. Your flesh is still weak. Your flesh is still wanting to do the wrong thing. And but you've got the spirit now inside of you. And I think there are times in my life where I'm not resting in the spirit. I'm not being still with God. I am not spending that quality time. And those are the times where I'm not as quick to obey, or I'm not even hearing his voice.
Yeah. Right.
Because I'm not in that place. Well, you can't obey if you don't know.
Right.
Exactly.
And you don't hear him.
Right.
If all you hear is what your flesh is telling you and you can't hear the spirit because you're not sitting with him, I think that it goes back to that a lot. And I'm thinking, I'm convicted right now in my own life, just hearing all this. And even when we talked this morning, I'm going, Lord, like, where does my faith need to grow? And I have felt like for a while that God has been saying to ask for certain things. And I've been scared to ask. And I think it's because it's the flesh. It's like, well, that feels either selfish or I'm prideful or something is not right. And why am I not asking for basic things, like provision for basic things? And it reminds me too of, Jessica always talks about recently about testimony. That's been a big part of what she has spoken on at women's retreats and different things. And even in her church about testimony, that the word for testimony in the Hebrew is, say it, aduth.
Aduth.
We do. But do it again in the same power and authority.
Yeah.
That's what that means. And so hearing Jenna's testimony, it's another push, like, and it may not look the same, but ask.
Yeah. That's good.
But ask not in your own like fleshly wants and desires, but like ask for what you know I want to give you and bless you with. Like, there's certain things. And so I don't know. That was a very roundabout way to go about obedience. But I think, like, for me, I have got to be better at sitting still, listening, asking, and stepping out.
Well, and I think a lot of times the answer is not coming because there's something blocking God from providing, because he's trying to teach you a lesson. Like, he's always trying to refine us. And if he gives us everything we want and desire without us going through the fire, then we will learn nothing. And so we have to sometimes go, okay, like, what do I need to learn in this situation? You know, and I've seen, like, Jenna, you know, when she does get to share the story in detail, like, you're going to hear obedience. You're going to hear doing something so different than the world would tell her. If she would have gone and told the world, they would be like, y'all are dumb. Why would you do such a thing? Like, everyone would tell. Like, because it makes no sense. And so I think that's the hard thing, is the things that the Lord will tell you to do most of the time will make no sense. And that's usually when you need to do it.
And that's the opposite. That's the opposite thing we were just talking about, is like, it doesn't make any sense to the world. So,
I mean, technically it doesn't make sense to us, but we know that God is a God of things that don't make sense.
Hey, friend, we will get right back to our episode, but we want to take a moment and thank our patrons. You guys keep our podcast going.
If you are not a patron and you would like to consider donating to our podcast ministry, we would be so grateful, and we might even do a happy dance.
When you become a patron, you get perks like being the first to hear about special info and retreats. You get bonus episodes, monthly devotionals, lock screens, and more.
Plus, we have added a new $1 tier for those who believe in us and what we're doing, just because you love us.
So head on over to our show notes and click on the Patreon link to learn more. Now let's get back to our episode.
Well, and I can kind of share just a tidbit just on the miracle that happened this summer as well, with, you know, like a dream that happened. Like, you know, the short version is God gave me a dream, and it was a weird dream, but there was someone in my life from my past that I haven't seen in over 20 years. And they were in my dream. And I woke up going, like, feeling the urgency to pray for them. But also fighting all day, because it was a Sunday, going, do I contact them? Like, I shared with my husband, and I mean, he was just like, that's really crazy. And then the whole day, I mean, I didn't hear anything that Jonathan preached because I was like, if I reach out to them, what do I say? Should I say anything? I'm going to sound so crazy. This person's going to think I'm a lunatic. Like they know nothing about me. I don't even know they're a believer, And so I fought that tooth and nail. And God gave me grace and gave me half of a day to like have conversations with myself and Jesus. And then I ended up reaching out to the person. And long story short, like they needed to hear what that dream was about. And it was a prayer that they had asked not even 24 hours earlier for God to show themselves to them because they were on the brink of being done. And like, as I sat on the phone in tears, I was in tears. This person was in tears, and being on the phone for the next 2 hours, talking and hearing God just loving this person so much. Like God could have gotten to this person any way he needed to. But I'm grateful that I was able to be obedient because I thought I was going to look real stupid. But God said, just trust me. And to see him move in that way was another miracle.
And it grew your faith and that person's faith.
100%. It did. It grew my faith. And I will tell you, and as I've told other people, like I thought that I was doing good in the faith department. God has stretched my faith in so many ways. And he was like, oh, you think you good with this? I'm going to like hand something to you that could make you look like a lunatic. Are you prepared? Like, will you do it?
Right.
No matter what. And
Wild.
God showed out in such a miraculous way. And so it was a beautiful, humbling experience to be a part of something that he didn't have to let me be a part of. But because he's a good father, he allowed me to be a part of something. And like, as we talked today and we could share, all three of us could share story after story. Like, we want you to know, like going into this new season, that God has beautiful, beautiful things for you. But you will miss out if you do not step out in obedience. And it is blind faith. Like it is. Like you can't see it tangibly what he wants to do in your life until you step out. And then he will show you the next step. But also as you learn, and Jenna's able to share more of that story later on, like her and her husband had to just take step after step. Because after they took a step of obedience, it was hard. It was real hard. But God showed out and provided every step of the way. And then there was a blessing that they could have never imagined at the end of it. And that's what he has for each one of us. If we let go of our selfish nature, of what we think is right for our life, and say, okay, God, like you have this, I think about that all the time with the podcast. Like we could have never envisioned what he had in store with the ministry that he allows us to be a part of. He could have used any other pastor's wives. And
so many of those things that we have experienced over the last 5 years, like in things being hard for me, like, oh wait, I will never speak on a stage in front of anybody. Oh Lord, you're asking me to do that? Okay, you told me to do it, so I'm going to do it, but this is not what I want to do. Like all of that has led up to even this moment, this summer. Like I just think back and I'm still processing it, like I said, but all of these tiny steps of obedience, like he will keep asking you to do more. Just say yes.
Just say
walk
yes.
through the door.
The new
or
season of
close the door,
yesing.
whatever he's asking you to do.
The new season of yesing.
I like it.
Start saying yes to God things, like we always say,
Yes,
and start
amen.
saying no to the good things that might not be the good
That's
things
right.
for you.
That's right.
Okay, guys, this has been a great, serious conversation. And now we're going to bring a little of the silly. Okay.
Of course.
I think it's time for some rapid fire questions. And I know
These
that
are
Jessica
so fun.
Poo Poo found some questions that we have to ask each other, which I think shall be interesting. Maybe it could cause arguments. I don't know. Let's see what happens. It could get cray up in this joint.
We're gonna fight on season 7, episode 1.
I like
Let's
it.
do it.
It's
Let's
like
do
a
it.
Jerry Springer
Battle of the Pastors'
Oh,
Wives.
yes.
That was
for
very
all.
loud. I'm sorry.
Yes.
The
battle.
battle.
If
Oh.
anyone was driving, I hope you're still safe.
Okay. I'm going to ask the first question. You
Okay.
ready? What is the worst church potluck food you have ever braved? to put in your mouth.
I'll be real honest. I haven't been to a church potluck in quite some time, but I feel like it probably was some sort of like fruit salad.
That's what I was going to say. A gelatin. A gelatin. Here. I'm going to be for real with you. I struggle with gelatins and that kind of stuff.
Like Jell-O.
But no, I like Jell-O.
Okay.
But the gelatins with other things, in it.
Oh, yeah.
Because of Christmas family vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Because what did the grandma do? She put cat food in it. And I could just imagine over the years, there have been people that have brought food. Let's just be for real here, not sugarcoating anything. But like everybody's house isn't clean.
That's
Everybody
so true.
doesn't wash their hands. Everybody doesn't clean or cook the way that you might. And so
true.
what truly goes into their food? And so with the fruit salad, with it being all gooey and stuff, I struggle.
Okay.
You're welcome.
New fear unlocked
Oh, great.
right now.
Yeah. I will say though, at Christmas time, my mama makes that it's like a cranberry something gelatin salad that's got
It's your
cranberries and
mama.
orange.
But that's
and
your
some-
mom.
It's your
and-
mama.
and
And your
that's
mama's
so true.
kitchen is clean.
That's not a church
Yeah,
potluck.
her kitchen is clean.
That's true. Okay.
And
Carry on.
I would trust your mom.
What about you? What would be yours?
Yours? Well, nothing, because I'm not going to go try something that looks any sort of weird way. If I have not had it before and know I like it, it ain't happening. So therefore,
so
the
true.
answer is nothing.
So when you're hearing Church of Stephanie's Church, she ain't going to try your food if she don't know you well.
She basic.
Well, it's not about if I don't know you well. I'm going to look at the food and determine, is this something I like? Do I
Okay.
want to try this? Probably not.
Second question. Favorite seat in the sanctuary? And do you actually get to sit there? Ooh.
Front and center for me. I love to
Your
sit
front
on
row?
the front row.
Front row
Oh,
center.
yes, front row. And we've just always, like, even at my previous church, like, we always just say, like, leaders worship from the front. So I just always have just done that. And I just love it so much. I think it's because I don't like the distractions of having people in front of me. I get, that's another reason.
Ooh.
Because
That's
I
what
get
was gonna ask
distracted.
you.
I think that's another reason why I like the front. Because I do get distracted if there's people in front of me or beside me. So I prefer to be on the front where I can't see anybody.
Okay. I have a very different answer for this. No, go ahead.
Okay. Mine is it's like 4 rows from the front. And we have a small church. So like our side door is where everyone the majority of our people enter.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to greet them when they walk in. Like we have greeters at doors, but I get to like give them a hug, greet them, pat on the shoulder, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's where I sit. So I can make sure that I get to greet most of the people.
Yeah.
And smile when they walk into the actual sanctuary. So
Or get up if you need to go help with something.
well, and
correct?
I do, because I do have to get up almost every Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. So mine's a little different. I don't sit where I would, ultimately love to sit necessarily, as far as like positioning in the church.
sacrificial of you, Stephanie.
I know.
Sacrificial stuff. That's sacrificial stuff.
That's my new name. Just kidding. Anyway, so I actually prefer the back of the sanctuary, and this is why.
Jenna just said leaders sit up front. How you
I
feel
know.
about that, Steph?
I sit up front as a leader. I am up front. But here's the problem. My natural inkling and my natural like personality is to want for you to notice me or like the good things about me. And so for me to really focus on the Lord, I have to be in the back where people can't even see what I'm doing. Where my worship has nothing to do with what they can see to make sure my heart is like where it needs to be, if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
And so for me, I need to almost be unseen.
Mm-hmm.
But I do sit near the front on the left side. Like if you're looking at the stage,
The left is more holy, apparently.
Yeah, I sit in the same kind of position. But it's because our youth and college are there. So I love sitting there because I'm with them. Like, don't get me wrong. I would want to take them to the back if I was going to the back. I don't want to leave them. I love them. But as far as like positioning in the sanctuary, if no one else was involved, that is my answer, the back.
I like it.
Okay. All right. Next question. Tell us one word to describe ministry life right now.
We should all say it at the same time. One word. First, get it in your head. Tell us when you're ready.
I don't know right now.
Let's just say them really quick, back to back to back.
Yeah,
Starting
go ahead
with you, Steph, I guess.
Fresh.
Fresh. That's what I was also going to say.
So fresh and so clean.
But Jessica
That's
probably
not
has
good.
something different. We can explain why in a second.
Say exciting right now.
Okay. So for me, fresh was because of all the newness with the college and career group. And that right now is a big part of my life right now in ministry and what I'm loving. So it just feels new and fresh. So that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Fresh for me also because we're at a new church where it's like fresh start.
Yeah.
Lots of things are just super fresh right now.
Fresh, so fresh and
That's
clean.
that's so true.
So fresh and so
yeah,
clean.
a lot of fresh things happening.
Yeah.
Mine would be exciting just because like ultimately I'm looking forward. We have our women's conference this weekend and I'm really excited about that. And just exciting things coming down the pipeline of like our church and discipleship and community. So exciting.
Awesome.
Question.
Oh, the next question.
Yes.
So, what is a worship song that makes you cry pretty much every single time you hear it?
Mine would be yes, it would be the family.
Oh yeah.
The blessing.
By Carrie
That
Jo.
one. Because it's not really a worship song. I don't think. I don't think it's a worship song. I think it is
It's
a prayer.
Right.
And so
Scripture.
I love that our worship pastor, talks about that before we do sing it because we pray it over our community and our family. And so that would be a big one.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking of all the things when I'm praying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and Stephanie actually have the same one, and we realized this before we
started
because
this.
she saw because I had written mine down and she looked and saw. She was like, "Wait, that's the one that I like too." But I speak Jesus.
Oh yeah.
And
my
our choir
goodness.
just sang it this past Sunday, and they did such a beautiful job. And the whole time, I'm like feeling all the feels, especially with the part with family. Yes.
And it talks about family and then like anxiety and like all of that.
Yes.
Like I sob every single time. It's like when it comes on, I'm like, okay, Jenna, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. It is it's just a powerful song.
Agreed.
I love it. So
Agreed.
much.
And that is a prayer. It's a prayer.
Yes.
For your church,
Yeah.
for each other, for your family, for all the things.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just prayer is powerful.
It
and the
is.
name of Jesus is powerful. And that one just keeps saying it over and over again. I'm
and
like,
especially praying it in unison and singing it together.
Oh my gosh, it gets me every time.
I loved it one time at our worship pastor had us like reach our hands toward like and move throughout the congregation and put our hands toward so we were praying it over like our neighbors. And it was just precious. Like oh my gosh, it was so cool. If we were all in a church softball game, who is most likely to injure themselves first?
I want to say this first. Can I say?
Go.
I have been on many church softball teams. I would say I like basketball and volleyball better. Church volleyball.
Oh, I love some softball.
Anyways,
Softball's my favorite sport to play. But I was envisioning, Jessica likes to get thrown by ghosts. And so I envision her. Also, she's very brave. So I could envision her at this age, like all those times she's been shoved and we don't know by who and she falls backwards in our reels.
Yes.
And so what I envision now is Jessica thinking like, I got this. And she goes diving into home plate. And then because she thinks she can handle it, she injures herself, but she pretends she has not injured herself. She's like so good and then totally fine. But then deep down, the ghost that pushed her into the home plate.
For sure the ghost.
Yes. She is injured. Or one of us runs into her and she just every time we do reels and we accidentally run into her and she goes flying.
I feel like she had this story prepared. She was ready.
Yes, I did.
Jenna, what about you?
Well, I was going to say Stephanie first. I forgot that Stephanie played softball. So therefore, I'm going to change my answer to me because I would probably get injured and hurt myself. But I was just thinking like as we've gotten older, like Stephanie sometimes gets to where like her back's hurt.
Oh,
and
you're not
she's
wrong.
constantly walking around like
she is our old lady.
You are not wrong.
Even though she's not the oldest, she is the old lady.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yes.
So I could see why you would say that.
So, but
that's what I was going to say too, Stephanie.
Did not play sports in high school. So I was a cheerleader and I considered that a sport, but some people would have something to say about that. Don't come at me. I loved cheerleading. Oh, are you one of them?
She said, don't come at me. No, I'm laughing because you said it. No, I do. I think that I would say I think that some cheerleading is a sport.
It depends on where you are and what they,
I would not think what you did was a sport. I love you.
Because competition, is that what you're talking about?
I would say like the United and all of those, like what they do and the athletes that have to happen.
Yes.
But the traditional cheerleader of hurrah and jumping and putting your fist up in the air, I'm going to say heck no.
But I tumbled too and went to tumbling classes and all that. And I definitely felt like an athlete when I was doing those things.
Oh, no, that stuff,
That's gymnasts that you would take gymnasts out of it with the tumbling. Gymnasts are some of the strongest athletes out there.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. So anyway.
And she says that because she was a gymnast. And again,
when I was younger,
Jessica's
I don't feel like
key woman, you know?
Volleyball, basketball, those were my main sports. So,
all right. What's the weirdest thing that you've ever been asked to pray over?
Testicles.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're just going to leave that there.
Okay. Also, I've been asked some weird things, but I'm afraid to say them because I feel like it's so weird that people will know who they are and what they've said. And I don't want anybody to feel any sort of way.
And also I want to preface by, even though it's already said and we moved on, that it was
I really just wanted to leave it without explanation.
Husband and another guy later, and then therefore, but I was not in the initial ask, but then I was second party ask to pray. So, and sometimes they do, but it was still just.
Oh,
it is different.
I can think of stuff. Okay. I'm thinking about kids. They ask some funny things.
That's so true.
Let's pray for my friend's dead cat. Things like that. And you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's dead. There's not much to pray for. He's gone.
Yeah. I can't think of anything specific. Yeah. So, but I think dead cats and testicles are plenty for this conversation. So,
and on that note,
leave that there.
We're going to leave this podcast right here. This episode is complete.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. We love you guys. So excited about the new season.
Yes.
Yeah. Until next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Okay, friends, if you have enjoyed this episode as much as we have, please help us spread the word on Facebook and Instagram.
If you didn't know yet, Instagram is where all the fun is at. From dance reels on Wednesdays to spiritual encouragement and laugh out loud posts in between, there is something for everyone.
And last but certainly not least, if you could take a moment right now to stop what you're doing and give us a rating and review, even subscribe to our podcast, this seriously helps other people find us who wouldn't be able to otherwise. Thank you so much for your love and support. We hope you'll tune in next week.